Okay, so when we are you are doing the partition management, you know, right? You are doing partition management. So what is the partition management is like you are creating a partition for your table. You are creating partition for your table. Okay. So when you are doing the partition in the table, after doing partition, sometimes you have to add a new partition, right? You did alter table. I told this command, alter table, add partition, and then you give the partition name, right? City is the, like you are adding a new partition of the city, new city partition, you add the XYZ. Okay. And you have the data, right? You are going to insert in the data in this partition, some source table. Okay. So suppose after adding the partition, so logically you add the partition, okay? But how the metadata will be updated in the meta store DB, right? So how the meta store, so MSCK repair table command is there. MSCK repair table command. So MSCK repair table command not only for adding partition, if you logically delete the partition, so there is a command alter table drop partition command is there. Like you want to drop a partition, like particular partition of like you want to be drop, okay? So logically you are dropping, and and you have to remove the data for this partition from the Hadoop file system. Then you are using Hadoop fs minus rm command, and then you are saying this particular table db folder, and then you are saying cp equal to xyz. This is a partition folder, right? You know, right? Whenever the partition folder will be there, some test.db, and inside that the table folder, right? I say my table is a my table, and inside that will be city equal to this folder will be there, right? So you have to remove RMR, you have to remove the entire this partition, right? So still the data is not synchronized, right? Basically, whatever you are adding or removing partition logically, and you are removing or adding the data, okay, corresponding that partition, right? So you have to run the MSCP repair table and my table. Okay. So you have to give some parameter you can give also MSCK repair. So this is the like synchronization between the metadata in the meta store DB as per your alter table command. Okay, so that's the purpose of the MSCK repair. Okay. So MSCK repair mostly we synchronize the metadata once after we are doing the alter table add partition or drop partitions. Okay. Yeah, that's the
Do
purpose.
you have do you have any partition default partition size in Hive, sir? Like in Hadoop, we have 128 MB per partition size file.
128 MB block is there.
Yeah, yes, sir. Similarly, do you have any kind of partition size on Hive on that?
Oh, so there is no, see, as much as data you load in the partition, see, so it is not fixed, right? One partition can be within a block, right? It's not like that, right? So suppose your data is, your partition data is suppose 500 MB, okay? So automatically it will take it, how many blocks will be there, right? 128, 128, 128, like whatever is covered by the 500. So it doesn't matter, right? So 120 is a block size. It's a measurement, right? Like, okay, 128 MB is a one block. Okay. So how many total number of blocks occupied by that much size of the partition, that is calculated. Okay. So it's not a limit, right? You have the hard disk, you have the Hadoop file system capacity as much as data you can load, right? So Hadoop file system is taking a like a capacity of your cluster. It is taking a cluster capacity. So Hadoop file system, like I'm using right now, where I'm using Hadoop file system, on which operating system I'm using. Ubuntu I'm using, right? Suppose I'm giving a Ubuntu 150 GB disk size. I given Hadoop file system is here 150 GB. So you can say like whatever data size is, it will take it 150 max GB size is there for my Hadoop file system. Okay. So when this size is not left, then it will give the error, right? Your Hadoop file system doesn't have the much space. Same thing is in the cluster. So cluster means when we are talking about the cluster, right, where we have number of nodes are there, right? 10 node machines are there. 10 nodes machines are there. It means my cluster capacity is a 10 nodes. In these 10 nodes, maybe you have one master node, one resource manager, and 8 you have the data nodes. You have the node manager in these 8 nodes. The total capacity will be multiply of the size and multiply of the RAM. That is the cluster basically. Okay. So size is not a restriction, right, for the Hadoop file system, right? Hadoop file system can increase or decrease depending on your cluster or your machine. Okay.
Sir, I have another question. In Hive, the data skewness is persistent in there, just like similar to
So
PySpark,
see,
data
data
skewness.
skewness is a concept. Okay. Data skewness is a concept. It can be anywhere. Okay. Data skewness means unevenly distributed data. Okay. Unevenly distributed data. So suppose I'm saying I'm distributing the data on the machines, right? But my data is one machine is more and one machine is less. So suppose if I'm doing the join, when I'm doing the join and join is taking more time, the data skewness problem. So data skewness is a problem, right? It's like making it your job slower. If I'm talking about in the PySpark, so PySpark it is or Spark anywhere, like it is making it my job slower. The data evenly undistributed and data processing time is taking more. Okay. So there are the executor concept is there, right? Executor is executing your task. Okay, executing your task. Okay. And these tasks are taking more time due to even uneven distribution, right? So that's a one problem data skewness. Same problem in Hive also, uneven distribution of the data. Okay. And another cause of the data skewness is suppose one particular key is repeated more number of times. Okay. Suppose in the join, I have a two table one and table two. Okay. And I say table one particular value is there, one key value, one key is having the value of some test. Okay. And that is coming 100,000 times. It is 100,000 times is repeated. And this is a joining key, suppose, okay? This key is a joining key, right? And this value is 100,000 times in one table, and second table, it is a one time. Table two, this same key value is test only one time, only one time. So you know, right, ultimately the result of the join is one row, right? Because the data will be, but what is happening? Same key is repeated more number of times, that will make it your join slower, right? So generally what we do in this case, this is also data skew. So what we do it, we do the excluding this particular key value, where clause, I will do the join. I will say join table one, um, table one, join table two. Okay. Join table two. Okay. And this particular on, I say table one dot this key equal to table two dot key, and where clause I will say this table one dot key not equal to test. Okay. So what it means, where the value this test, but I need to identify like which is the more number of times the value is there. So what this join will do, it will exclude it. It will exclude it. So this particular key will be excluded, right? This test value is excluded and it will do the join faster. And later on, I will add this record separately. So this is the another way of making it our join faster. Okay. I will tell about some join performance tuning, right? Like high partitioning and bucketing is a one way. Second, other thing is like these questions are interview questions. These are not you getting in a like any particular type scenarios you are getting this kind of interviews questions on, right? When you are like they are asking you what type of challenges you face in your project, right? What type of challenges you face in the Hive and how did you overcome that? Okay. I'll give you the note on that, right? Okay. What type of joining strategies are there? What are the not only joining strategies, like performance tuning, we call it high performance tuning. So high performance tuning, there are a lot of techniques are there, like vectorization is there. Okay. CVO is there, cost-based optimization, cost-based optimization. So these are the just parameter. You don't need to do anything. Some joining parameters, right? Some join converter properties you need to set it. Okay, map site join is there. Like for small data fit into the memory, you can use the map site join. Other things are like partition bucketing is there, partition and bucketing. Okay. There are many more are there, like we can do the like joining optimizations are there, or just queries optimizations, like what type of optimize, like indexing is the one. Okay, so you are defining some particular column index, right? So it will be making it data retrieval faster. Okay. I'll give the complete blog is there for that performance tuning. Anyone has any question? Find out the questions, right? Like this kind of questions you are getting in interviews, note it down and paste it in the group, right? People will aware of it and they have the better answer, they can provide it. Because sometimes while you are searching on Google, right? If you search it, like you will get different blogs and another person will get a different blog. So we don't know which blog is giving a good like content. Okay, so that matters, right? So if I'm searching in the Google, right? So I'm getting a general point, like some of the sites are giving really good links, right? So you will get some, most of the points will be the similar point, okay? Because points are same, right? Even if you are going, right? See, I'm telling you 100 times points same will come, right? Whatever I'm saying, partition, bucketing, okay, compression is one, avoiding the small files. We can make it a small file to make a zip file. So that is another way for improving the performance, okay? Like table design is a one. Simple join are usually better, right? Like, okay, we are not making it complex join, right? So SME join is there, map join is there, right? So these are the efficient join, okay? Stage is better than the MapReduce because MapReduce is slow, right? So Stage is another framework, right? And built on top of Hadoop 2.0. Data skew, right? Avoid skew, right? So avoid skew is a query is only fast as slowest task, right? So some of the task is getting it, making it your query slower, right? Parallel execution. So hive is supporting, there is a one property for parallel execution, right? So by default, it is not enabled. You need to enable it, okay? So generally, when you are processing the large amount of data, that time we make it parallel execution. If you see what is the property name is there. So what is the property for in hive? So you can find it. So you have to find some point on those points. You again find, see, set hive execution parallel equal to 2. Okay. So when you make it this property 2, so nothing more, just a configuration, because Spark, you may have to write some code or you have to do some like a code based tuning you have to do. Spark also have configuration based tuning. So two types of tuning. Either you can do configuration based tuning and or like a code based tuning, right? Suppose you can optimize the code. Okay. So configuration based is easy, right? It is hit and trial, right? Okay, I can add some more configuration or I can change configuration. I can get the better result. Okay. Compression. So you are getting the same points or not? Optimize join, cost-based optimization, CBO is there, cost-based optimization. So just prepare 5-6 points. These are good. You don't need to remember, right? Just 5-6 points are enough that you can speak out better answers you can give. And when you say data schemas, right? Just type data schema. If you get the questions, then only you can find the answer. Data schema in 5. So that is the reason we should always keep reading the blocks, right? That's the purpose. Okay, reading the blocks, right? Because blocks are giving us the more information what actually we don't get it anywhere else. Okay, so there are a few ways to optimize the skew join. Okay, so separate queries, like you can split the query into the query. Multiple queries you can split out, right? I told the way, right? If the value is a skew, right? So you can excluding the skewed values, right? Can you see same thing what I'm telling? Is it same thing or not? Right? The code ID is not equal to 250. So 250 is a repeated, right? More number of time repeated value. So you are excluding this from the join. And then you are adding it into the execute the query with only skewed value and then combine the result. So understand, right? What are the other join parameters are there, like optimizing join, right? So skew join, like these are the optimizing skew join, like you may have to make it optimize skew join equal to 2. Okay. So if you're telling these properties, someone will understand you have implemented and you know better answer, right? optimize. So I'm giving you this block. See, you can search more blocks and then you can prepare your own notes. Okay. See, watching blog or just checking the blog is the one thing, but making it your own notes from different blog, that will give you the perfect answer. Because different blogs are giving different like different options or different ideas, and you can collect all those ideas and prepare your better answer. Okay. See, this is the whole thing. If you read it, you will get more clarity, right? Okay, what is the data skewness, how to resolve it, how to find skew, like whether the data is skew or not. First of all, we have to find that. Okay, if the data is really skewed and the data is the job is like your hive query is taking more time, then you have to analyze your query. Okay, so that's a way, right, to do that. Okay. Okay, so yesterday I was talking about the one transaction management. Okay, so generally Hive is having a asset transaction management. Actually, I didn't run the query. Okay, yesterday I just showed to you in the script. Okay, so you remember, right? There is a script for so same properties are here also, right? See, Hive optimization is skew join true. So in this book, if you read it, I'm 100% sure your all answers will be true. This book, right? I already referred this book and I shared. Okay. Again, I will add this book in the classroom so you can get more clarity. So Hive Essential packet. So this particular book, all chapter by chapter, this complete book, like PDF book. Okay. I have already given this book. I don't. Hive book. Okay. This is the old version. Okay, this is the first version, but I have a second version also. This is the first version. This is the pretty old. No, this is not essential. This is another book. Actually, that book name is I Essential. Okay, what I'm saying is whatever the chapters are there, so every chapter the same code is explained. Okay, so you will get more clarity. Even the security related, okay, related things are there, right? Like how we can provide the right. This is a security tip, right? Like MD5 or the different encryption things. Like credit card number is there. How can you make it hash, right? Masking. So this is like encryption thing is there, right? So you can see. Okay, so I was telling about the transaction management. Okay, so transaction management. So transaction management, right? Yesterday I was showing you. So here the properties are, these are the properties. Okay, so these are the properties we set it before using the transaction management, and then we are using the some table we create. Okay, so when you are using transaction management, you are using these properties. Okay, and when you run this query will definitely fail. Okay, I got the error. Okay, I'm showing you, but I found the solution. So I search on Google, like I got the error. How I got the error, like if any query anytime fail. Okay, suppose I run this query. Okay. And when I run this query, I got some error. Okay, and now I want to know what is error. Exactly error I'm not able to find here. But the error you can see your temp directory. Actually, your temp directory, there is a log folder will be there. Here is if you do ls, any hive queries you are getting error, you can go here and check here hive.log. This hive.log is always keep updating here. So sometimes you are not getting exact error in your query. Like if any syntax error, you can easily come to know here query itself. Okay. But suppose something is an execution error is there, like suppose you are inserting data or you are some logical error is coming. So that error you will not come to know here. Okay. So you come here and open this log. I open this log here, hive.log. Okay. And at the end of the log, I found here this error. Here is a error. Okay, so the error I got it here. I converted. So I got the error, this error, like my return code to something map read local task is there. So I got this error. So I found it like, okay, if I have this error, so if I set this hive converter join property false, my query is not filled. So I copy this and if I check, they are also setting some property. Okay. If you check here, you check here, like some properties already there. Okay. Here. So I copied here the property. If you see this property, they are using hive auto convert join false. So I add this property. After this, I add this property. If I add this property here, then this code will work. Okay, you can test it, it will not work because I tried this property didn't work. So when I add this property later, I add this property and then I run this all commands, so then it works. So basically what I'm doing here, I'm just creating a one source table and one target table. So after that, what I did, I set this property. Can you see this property? I set it false. And after that, I did merge into, so one, my target table is there where I want to do merging. And this table should be your asset compliance. So if you see this table, target table, so when you say the target table here, there's a transaction property is true. You have to add this property you have to add in your that target table. Okay, transaction table. So this particular table, I'm saying this is my target table. And I'm saying here merge. Why I'm using merge? I can use a simple update or delete statement. But when you use update delete statement, so at a time you can use only one, right? Suppose if I use update statement and then I have to use separate one delete statement, or I can use an insert statement. Okay. But I want to write a one merge statement, and that merge statement not only update delete, it can do all three together. Yesterday I was talking about this. You remember, right? So there is a condition when I say match means if my ID is matching, right? My existing ID, this 100, 101, 102. Okay. If you see my new table, the new data, right? The source data. So these three IDs are matching. So 100 is matching, 102 is matching, 105 is not matching. So 105 is not matching means it is not matched. So when it is not matched, what is the type of statement? Is insert statement. When it is matched, two cases are there. Either it could be a delete or it could be a update. Okay. So how can I know what is a delete and what is update? So in that case, I'm checking my quit flag. So my quit flag is I'm saying if person want to quit the job, it means yes. If person want to quit the job, I will change my flag yes. Why? So it means I want to delete this. So I want to delete for the quit flag Y. If the quit flag is not Y, it means I want to start date, I want to change. The person start date, I want to change one day. So you see in the 102 record, here is the start date is 2018-01-01. Here is the start date is a 2018-01-02. So if I want to do only single update or delete statement, I can normally do. Okay. But if I want to do multiple statement, the batch statement I want to do, either update, delete, insert, so I can use the merge statement. Okay. But the condition is for merge statement, like we should have the transaction table, like we should have the transactional properties true. in the target table. Okay. So when I do, it started the total 5 jobs is launched, right? So it is like based on the your insert, update or delete, it is identifying how many statements need to be updated or inserted or delete. Total number of 5 jobs it created. So now it is started one by one each job. So you can see some mapper or reducers are there. In some jobs there is a mapper also there, 0, 33, 100, right? So here is no reducer. Okay, so this is like a mapper means selecting data, right? When you are doing reducer means some aggregation you are doing, updating, deleting, some manipulation data you are doing. Okay, if you see this is a second job launch. So here is no mapper is there. Reducer is 0 to 50 is there. Okay, so number of reducer are 2, right? So reducer you always know for output files, right? Wherever the data is divided, okay, output is divided, then the number of reducer comes in picture. Okay. And again, the third job launch. In the third job launch, if you see here, this is again no mapper. It is again the reducer job, 0 to 50, 50 to 100. Okay, again 2 reducers. Okay, and number of mapper is 1. So mapper is 1 means only 100% is well run. If you see the first job, how many mappers you see here? 3, right? So 3 mappers were there. That is the reason it is divided into the 3, 0, 33, 100. And reducer is 1 means there is no percentage, right? 0 to 0, right? 0 and 0 to 100 came. Okay. So it means only one reducer is there. Okay. So if one reducer means 0 to 100, only one. When it is 3, 0 to 50, 50 to 100, right? So when you 2, you are saying, okay. When you are saying 3 reducers, 0 to 33, 30 to 66 and 100. That is the combination. Okay. The third one is the number of reducer 1. Number of mapper 1. Okay, let's see some more now. And job 5 is, this is the 2. Okay. So this is 5 jobs are run. After that, it has loading data to table. So this particular data, the target table, have the updated data. So now if I'm verifying, select star trans 101, 100. So this record is inserted 105. So 105 came. So 105 came with the value 105 name and whatever date, null and end. This is correct. This is correct. Okay. And what about the 100? 100 is not there. It is deleted. Okay. That is fine. That is good. And 102 is updated. So if I check the date, so it was 102, the date is changed to 2018-01-02. So if I'm able to see my data is good, right? My data is good. So whatever data I'm expecting after update, right? So my update, insert, delete. So my data is updated. Okay. So I have added the properties. I'm giving that property because without that property, your code will not work, right? This you will get the error. So sometimes you will find some issues. So find out the reason, right? What is the reason? Maybe sometimes the code is not tested. Okay. So this is the transaction manager. Okay. And next thing I'm going to tell about what is the UDF. Okay. So UDF is very important concept in Hive. So UDF we use, right? When any question anyone has? Hmm. Okay, so UDF is user-defined function. UDF is a user-defined function. Okay. So yesterday I was talking about the UDF brief, right? What is the UDF, right? User-defined function. So sometimes I want to write my custom logic and I want to implement that logic through function. Okay. And that UDF function, it's not a built-in function. Okay. So there are already built-in functions are there, but I want to implement the UDF, write my own custom logic, I can define. So I need to write some Java code or even Python also I can write UDF. So there are the two ways you can do UDF. So first of all, you write some Java class, and this Java class will extend with the UDF class. This UDF class is given by the hive. And here is a evaluate function is there. This evaluate function, you are going to override it. So you are writing your logic in this evaluate function that will be implemented in the hive. Okay. Okay. So now the first thing is coming. First of all, I want to write my own code. Okay. Okay, so this one project code is there. I taken from the Google only. Okay, so I just can use it. So there are the two scenarios examples is there in the custom hive UDF. So in this custom hive UDF, so there is a class. So one is a find str occurrence is there. Okay, so actual class is this only, right? This is just comment. Okay, the class is this. The logic is this is the logic. Okay, so what is this logic is saying? Okay, if you understand the logic, right? If we have the requirement of UDF, so I should understand the logic. Okay, so what this logic is? So I have a one UDF class I'm writing my own UDF class. Okay, and this is extending the UDF the API class. Okay, and this UDF API class there is a evaluate function is how many parameter is taking? Two parameter is taking. Is a one taking like parameter which you want to a longer string, and this is a word you want to search. So just I'm taking a scenario of UDF. I say I have a one hello, how are you? How are you? Okay, this is some string is there. Okay, in this particular string, it may be a column also. Okay, maybe a table column. So UDF even you can apply the table columns or hard coded values. It's not a and you say the next word you are saying you, okay, or you can say any other word how. So I want to know how many times this word is coming. If I say you, one, two times is there, so my result should be coming two. The integer value should come two. Okay, so this type of function is not there, any built-in function is not there. So this is an example I'm saying. Sometimes you want to write some custom logic code and you want to say, okay, you are okay. And one more use case scenario I'm telling you. Suppose you have one column is there in your table description. Okay. Suppose you have a name column and you have a column description column is there. And this description is taking your entire HTML text. Suppose you are taking some website data. So whenever you are uploading down, or like you are writing HTML text data from the website, definitely some HTML text will come in the description. Suppose you have some line, okay, you have a P tag is there, you have a B tag is there, and you have some text is there. Hello, how are you? Okay, this is some text on the HTML text is there. My requirement is I don't want this HTML text. Right, these tags I don't want. The starting and ending tag I don't want. I want only the plain text. I want hello, how are you? Okay, I want to remove all these ones. So how is easy is? Can you think of, right? If I give you this task, so you can in programmatic way is very easy, right? In the programming, anything you can do, right? I say, okay, suppose one string you have, and just remove all this tags. So what logic you will be thinking? You will identify how many tags can be possible, right? So you will make a list of tags, right? You have a P tag, B tag, or some more tags are there, right? Whatever HTML tags are there, you will make a list. And in the string, wherever those tags are coming, you will use a replace function. You will replace function and you say wherever you find any tag which is in the list, right? So you will find and replace thing you will do. If you find this P tag, just make it replace with a blank like that. Okay. So this process you will do. So you will check each and every word you will check, like you will be checking this, you will be checking this. Then wherever you are not finding, you will not be replaced. Okay. If I say the same logic, this logic, if you write in this function here and make it this function as a UDF, it will work or not? It will work, right? So UDF is first you think of logic, like what logic you want. Sometimes I'll tell you another one more scenario for UDF. Suppose you are writing data from one table to another table, writing data one table from one table to another. So try to find out like the blocks, like what are the use cases, real practical use cases of UDF. You will find it. You will get lot many different use cases. Then you can think about it, and you will make it your thinking broad, right? And you can give the answers in the interviews, because people are expecting the real time thing. If you just say, okay, UDF, I'm just writing my custom logic and upper function I'm writing. Simple, you are writing a code. If suppose my string is a hello, a small hello, just you are making it H capital and a small other letter. So this is not a real use case, right? This is just you are telling any camel case, you are making it, okay, first letter capital and other letters you are making it small. This logic is a very simple logic, right? This is not the real use case scenario. I'm saying something like this kind of scenario where you are doing some business logic implementation. Suppose you are helping business logic customization, right? Through your function. And you know, UDF is a reusable function. This function you can use not only one single query, thousands of queries you can use the same function, because this function is reusable function, because it's taking a parameters. If it is taking a two parameters. This function is taking a one parameter like HTML text, any column name it is taking, and it will be doing cleanup. And another UDF I'm saying, writing data from one table to another table. And suppose the second table, you want to generate a sequence number, okay? Because you don't know how many records are there. Generally, you do the select count star and get the count, right? That is the one way. But that is a query, right? You have to do query. But I want to give, if my one table has the name column is there, city column, age column is there. And another table you want to write the same data, one ID you want to generate automatically, city, age. So what is the way? So I'm saying I want to write a one UDF, write a UDF to generate a sequence number. Write a UDF to generate sequence number. So you need to identify the last value and then plus increment one, right? That is a max value, right? Generally we say, right? So that logic you have to implement in the Java. Okay. So you can easily implement this logic in Java. So not only single statement things you can do with the UDF, like multiple lines of statement you can run with the single function, right? So that's you can say beauty of the UDF. Okay, that is the reason it is called user-defined function. What logic you want to write, you write or customize for your functionality. You can customize and you can provide in a one single function so that you can reuse it at multiple places. Okay. Okay, so if I'm going to write a UDF, so this is the first thing I told you, right? How to find the use cases. See, use cases of UDF in I. See, one UDF which I told you, show you this one. This guy has one XML parsing also there. Okay, but we need to understand the code. One UDF he has written date difference minus weekend. So this is some utility. So the utility which is not provided, if you run this query, so this is not user defined. This is not a built-in function. This guy has created this function, and to date you pass, it will give you the difference between the two dates minus the weekend. So this is calculating something. So something you think about it and implement it. And just what it did, to date he has taken a to date as a string date. First he checked if the both dates are null. So there is no point to do any calculation. You directly return null. If it is not null, then you will be creating a calendar Okay, then you are creating a simple date format. Then you are comparing which date is greater, right? If it is a day is after, then you are using a day of week you are checking, right? Based on that, you are doing total number of days you are doing, and then net total number of days. So you are doing total days minus Sunday and Saturday. And finally, you are giving the some count value you are giving total number of days. So this kind of utility you are writing, and this utility you can use it in your any two SQL columns, you table columns, you can apply this. Okay, so that kind of utilities you can do. Another utility this guy did. Okay, one is XML parsing also did. Like entire XML data you can parse it. This is a custom Hive UDF for parsing XML data from data set. So anywhere the XML tags come, it will identify, it will detect and get it. Okay, so that kind of code, it is a complex Java code. I'm not saying it's like a complete parsing API code is there. So the person should have the parsing knowledge, XML parsing knowledge, then only. But it's a ready-made code, right? XML parsing code, you can take it from anywhere and just plug in your UDF. That's it. Okay. I'm not saying it's a that much complex UDF you're writing, but you can write some utility UDF. So that you will think about it, right? What categories UDF you can. Okay. So I'm just giving an example. This one is a find occurrence is there. Okay. So first we have got this code. Okay. So I'm going this code, and this code you can open in the IntelliJ, and then you can do modifications also. Okay. So here my src target, right, and target folder, my class will be created. Okay. So I will be doing MVN clean install. Okay, this is the Maven project. I will be creating a jar. Okay, I will remove this target folder. RMV install. I will create again start. Okay, so I will do MVN clean install. So building a jar, I will. And IntelliJ also we can create a jar. You already know, I have already shown. If you open this project, there is a which line number is giving upper one. Okay, I added a one class, but that class actually I have not completed. Okay, I will remove that class. So there is no, actually I was doing, so upper one there is to remove. I have to go to this package, this particular. Okay, can you see upper one, right? This is, I'm removing. Build success. So if I check in my target folder, CD target, and this is my path. So my jar is this. This is my jar. So what are the steps are there for UDF? Anybody ask you the step for the UDF? The first step you will say you will have one Java project. You need to write custom class which extends UDF class which overrides integrate function to write custom one. First of all, you have to prepare Java. If I'm saying like upper one function, so you have to write a similar way, you define some logic. So this logic is very simple. Just simply what I'm doing here, I'm using a pattern. Okay, I'm searching a word in my string. So I'm just defining a one pattern, and this pattern matcher I'm searching. Wherever I find the pattern, I'm making it count equal to count plus. This is the one way. The second other way you can do, if you split this string, the bigger string, you can split in the array. Okay, I told you this logic in the splitting the string by space in the map reduce. Okay, so words dot split, and then I will say by space. So slash slash s. Okay, so space it will split and it will create an array. And then I will run the loop for string str. Okay, I don't make it str because str I'm already taking it array. S colon str, and I will be checking if my count, if my this s, if condition, if s dot equals, and I say matching with my search word. So if this search word is matching, it's very, very simple logic. If I'm matching with the search word, okay, if matching with the search word, it means it's true, then what I will do, I will make it count equal to count plus one. So I will implement the count equal to count plus. So this logic is a substitute of this logic. This logic is a standard logic. This logic is a pattern matching logic. Okay, and this logic is a general logic, right? Just very, very common logic, right? Just you are creating a list of words, and each word you are checking if the word is matching with your search word, then you will make it count equal to count plus one. So here is a 2 lines you are writing, and here is like similar lines of code, but this code is more efficient, because if the number of words are more, so it will be more time taking, right? Because it is running a loop. But here is a pattern matching is there, right? So that is just match your string with the, so it's doing its own functionality. Okay, the Java, it's like a pattern matching. It will be matching the word in your string and get the count equal to count plus one. So this logic you don't need to write when you are using this logic. You are want to like your own logic, you can remember this logic. It's an easy logic. Okay, so now we have created a jar, and now in the hive shell, I will register this jar, because the second step in the UDF is, we have to create a jar of your project, because jar is having the classes. Okay, jar has classes of your UDF class. Okay, and after this, you have to, next thing is you have to add register jar on hive shell. You remember, right? When I'm just using the JSON array, right? I add the add jar command. Same add jar command I will use. I will use in hive shell add jar, but I have to tell where is my jar located. So I'm telling the path, my jar. This is my jar path. And my jar name, this is my custom India. I'm giving my jar is added. This is second step is done. Like jar is added. Okay. Now next is I will create a one temporary function. How to create a temporary function? We will create a temporary function. I will give some function name. I'm saying find friends 1, 2, 3. It's up to you, right? Because whatever name you want to give you, because here it's your function. You can give any name, even you can give your name. Okay, it doesn't matter, because you are creating a custom function. Create temporary functions, and as you gave what the specified class for this function. So I'm telling with the package, the complete package statement, what is the class? Okay, so if I check what is my package of the class, I will see ORD Apache UDF text. This is a package. Okay, because there is a package is there. So package statement is must dot actual class name. Class name is, this is not the class. The second class, the class, find string friends. So this is the class. So this class is my UDF class. Okay. So I'm giving my UDF class name. and single quote you close. Okay, so your temporary function is created. Now this temporary function you can use in your any SQL query you can use, or you can use just simply hardcoded. Suppose I say my find OCC 123 and I say toString. So just I take it this string. Okay, suppose I want to do this one. Hello, how are you? These are the two parameters. I'm taking these two parameters. Okay, I'm closing it and just semicolon because there is no table. Just a simple hardcoded testing purpose. I want to check whether my function works fine or not. I'm getting right. If I say I want to check for okay, if I check for hello. So this is testing for right this function. Okay, function is working fine. If I want to use in some table column, suppose I say I have a table, I check some table where I have a column has some value. Okay, some 2 time is coming. Okay, so if I check, select, this is a name column, right? So find OCC 123, and which column you want to apply? Name column, for which like T I want to apply from text. First row, how many times T is there? 2 is there. Second row, there is no T. So there is 0 is coming. Second, third row, your T is 2 times. So again, 2 is coming. Are you able to get the occurrence? Right? We are getting the occurrence on the column. So you are using some table column. So this is used in this table. Any table you can use, right? So you should know what you want to search and what you want to get their search, right? In which is the column you want to search and what you want to search. So then you can use the UDF. Okay. So there are the other type of UDF is there like UDAF and UDTF. So UDAF is called user defined aggregate function. So user defined aggregate function. So already we have aggregate functions are there. So but this is customized UDF. Like you can write a Java code for the UDF, and another one is a UDTF, user defined table function. Okay. So if I say the difference between all these three, UDF, UDAF, and UDTF. So UDF is always like it's taking a some input value, and return one single value. Okay, I'm returning one single value always. Okay, but in case of UDF, it is taking list of values. It is taking like entire column values. Like here you are giving a separate row, right? For the UDF, you are applying each row, you are applying your UDF and getting the result for each row. Okay, so you are getting here, you are applying UDF in the row wise. You are applying UDF function row wise and getting a result row wise. Getting result row wise. Single value. Single value. Every row has a one single value for each row. Okay. But in case of aggregate function, you are giving entire column, right? Suppose I have a salary column and I want to aggregate the list of values of the salary column, total sum of the salary department wise. Okay. So see, list of values you are doing sum, but suppose when I do more customization like department wise sum, so that is no function is there. Only function is there, you can do entire column sum you can do. Okay, or group by function you can write and then you can do the query. But you want to write your custom function like more windowing function you can define as a UDF. Okay, like you can do aggregation like through the windowing function. So it is taking list of values and give single value. Okay, entire column is taking. It is taking entire one column and get the result of single value. Okay, and the third one is user defined table function, and table function says you are taking as a input as a table. Input is a table. Input is a table and returning table as a output. Okay. So some UDTF examples is the explode function is there. So explode function is like, suppose you have a name is there and marks is there. That is an array of integer value. Array of integer value. So you want to explode this array. Suppose you say name is a test and he has the marks of like 23, 45, 67, and you want to explode this one. So your output should come like test 23, test 45, test 67. So this is row to column conversion, right? You are taking an entire table as an input and you are returning as a table as an output. So that is your explode function. So post explode, there are many more are there. Post explode, some map function. So there are the many categories of the UDTF is there, UDF is there, UDF is there. But very basic or simple function is called UDF. Okay, okay, understand this, and I'll tell next is how to use this explode, and there is a lateral view is there. What is the lateral view is there? Okay, we can. I think yesterday I showed you the explode with the lateral. Okay. So we can do that. Anyone has any question, please? Okay. This is a very good example. So I'm telling you here, you can very, very good and understanding right, because explode is a one limitation is there. What limitation is there in explode, right? Actually, if I want to print this name with all the marks, I cannot do. I can do only marks can be in a multiple row only with the explode. So explode function can just make it only the marks you will get in the 3 different rows. Okay. But if you want to along with their marks, you want to get the name, you cannot do. So the another things you have to use lateral view. So lateral view, you have to use lateral view explode. Okay. So that one you have to use and that limitation will be overcome. So if you see this example, they have taken some Excel sheet data, some data, they are creating tables, they are loading data. So this all things we have done, create a view, they created, okay. So these are not required. I'm saying just to have a data in a table and that has the array type data, okay. So suppose that array type data is there, like you can see there, array type there. And when you use explode, so if you are explode on the course is an array, can you see? Course is an array. And when you apply the explode, so what is the problem? Like if you try to use any other column name here, it will give you the error. It will tell you you cannot use the any other column with along with the explode. That is the limitation. Okay. So they have found the solution, lateral view. So what you can do, you can write a query like this. You can use other columns along with your course column and define the lateral view explode on course. So just remember here, whatever this variable name you are giving, the courses, the same you define here as a courses here. It should be the same. Okay. So whatever your course column, you are exploding and you are giving us some name courses list and you are giving alias as courses. And this course you are using it here in your select query. Then only it is bringing your student ID, student name, location, and courses coming. Okay, so this example. keep it in the, you can check and practice after. So this is a lateral view you can use, lateral view. Okay, so for example, like I showed the UDF, this UDF. So what is the left in this high? Okay, most of the things we have covered. Okay, some UDFs, surveys we covered. Okay, one basic survey I covered. Okay, XML survey is pending. Okay, so that examples I have to tell. If your data is a XML format, how can you write the data into table? So that is called the XML survey, like XML survey. So just very basic, simple example, like how to process the XML survey. One eBay example is there. This is an eBay. So eBay is a shopping site, right? So eBay we know, right? So XML survey is a third party, right? So we have to use some Hive XML survey job, and then we have to create a table. So XML survey is like your XML. Your XML has the X path we are using, right? Okay, XML tags, right? So I have a input like how my XML looks like. Not giving sample data. So XML survey class is there. com.ibm. This is IBM has created this class XML survey. And then we can pass any XML file. So there are the different surveys I told, right? There is Avro, Parquet, ORC. Okay. So simple CSV file you can do, but if your CSV file is a double quotes or delimited data is there, in that case you can use the open CSV survey. Okay. Avro survey is there, right? So you are using stored as Avro. Okay, you have a Parquet survey, right? You are using stored as Parquet. JSON survey I talked about. Okay, XML survey, when your data is you have some table and you want to write a data. So one single string you have and you load entire data as a in this single string you load. And after that, you want to parse the XML and write into the separate one. So in that case, we use so directly without XML survey also you can write this XPath string. You can define this insert override table. So insert override target table, select source table. So when you are saying this is a target table, this is source table, and this source table, I'm just defining the XPath string. Okay, XPath string, and then I can write the data. So, or you can use this is the same thing in the create table syntax you define XPath. Okay, so then you don't need to write again and again insert into override. Okay, this thing you don't need to define in the query. Okay, because your create table syntax is already using this syntax XPath string. Okay, okay, I will give this example and okay, next I'm going to start the sqoop. Okay, so if I want to start the sqoop, right? So first, let's start. Anyone has any questions? Okay, sqoop is a ingestion tool. Okay, we know, right? We are ingesting data from the various data sources, right? So when I'm saying my data source is my RDMS database, RDMS database. So any RDMS database, I say Oracle, MySQL. So we will practice for MySQL only because MySQL is open source and we can easily install MySQL and you can follow this installation link through the DigitalOcean. So MySQL DigitalOcean link. So how to install the MySQL? So you can install MySQL. So you can install the server client, you can install sudo apt update, install MySQL server and service you can install. And you can follow, you don't need to follow this or just alter user, you have to give the some grant permission you have to give if you are getting the local host access denied problem. Okay. So you can, but you don't need to set it the complex password things. Okay. So just you set when you start the MySQL. So go to sudo MySQL. Okay, I will say like if anyone getting this issue, localhost access denied in MySQL. Okay, so you simply whenever you are getting this error, you will definitely get it this error. So in that case, you have to use alter user. Just sudo MySQL you do. So sudo MySQL is basically you can directly log in into your MySQL without password. Sudo MySQL is right. So sudo so when I want to log in my MySQL, do minus Q, because I already set the password. If you have not set the password, that time you can do the sudo MySQL. So you go here and then you set your password and give the root access. Right? You have to alter table command also. Okay, you can see the steps. Okay, I will give that. So once you install MySQL, you can next is first thing is you need to install the sqoop. Sqoop is very easy. Just you have to download the sqoop zip. Okay, and then extract the zip, and then you have to keep it in your software folder. You already have software folder there. You copy this sqoop folder, and then you set the sqoop home path. Sqoop home path you set in the bash rc .bshrc. Then apply the source command, source shrc. After that, put the library MySQL connector jar. So MySQL connector jar in lib folder of lib of sqoop. These are the steps you have to do. Okay, so first thing, once you go here in the software, so I already did my sqoop. So how to download the sqoop? You have to go to sqoop download, sqoop 1.4.7. So sqoop download 1.4.7. So go to the distribution. Okay, so here is the bin tab. To download this sqoop tab, okay, and extract this and put it in your software folder. So if you see my sqoop is 1.4.7. And this sqoop 1.4.7, and if I show you my bash RC, so I open bash RC. So nano ESHRC. Can set the sqoop home path and bin path. So sqoop home and bin path you set. And once you set your sqoop home and bin path, here I set a bin path. So this is my location of the sqoop. I set it. And once you've done this, just source command you run. And after that, you have to copy in the lib folder MySQL connect. This jar, if you don't keep it, you can't run your any sqoop import command will not. So sqoop is basically ingesting data. Sqoop is bringing data. Sqoop is bringing data from MySQL to Hadoop distributed file system. and you are writing a data as a file. Suppose in MySQL, I have a table. MySQL, I have a table EMP, and there is a data is the ID, name, city, date. Okay. Some data is there. And this data I'm writing as a file. The same data will come as a file. So this file will be some part hyphen m hyphen 5. This is a naming convention of the file you already know in MapReduce and Hive. So this is like, so this file will be created without header. Okay, so this file will be created like this. So basically whatever data is there in the database table, I want to import the data as it is. But sometimes you want to do some manipulation on the data, right? You can write a custom query. You say that I want to get the record which is having the ID is greater than 1. So if my ID is 2 and my ID 1 I don't want. So what is the condition? I will write a SQL query. I will say ID is greater than 1. So only this particular one recorded. Okay. So that is I will tell how to write our custom query. Okay. The first thing is we have to learn sqoop import command. So we will be going to write sqoop import command. So sqoop import command is basically the command you will be providing a connector parameter. You are defining the connect parameter, which is you are giving a URL name. Then you are giving a username parameter. Then minus minus password you are giving. Then you are giving minus minus table. So these are the basic parameters you have to provide for connecting the database. So if you once connect the database, and then you are providing also one more parameter is target directory. Target directory is a parameter for your Hadoop file system directory. Suppose I say my directory name in Hadoop file system is sqoop1. And in this sqoop1, if I give some directory name is import1. So this import1 will automatically create. You know, right? Whenever you are giving a target dir, so the last directory you don't need to create before. Okay, because this directory will be created automatically because it's sqoop is always create a new directory. Okay, you cannot give the existing directory. So when you give this command, when you run this command on the $shell in the terminal you run, then your import will work. So first we have to check our sqoop is installed or not. So simply if I write here sqoop, just simply sqoop I write. So it means my sqoop is there. Like I can run my sqoop command because sqoop version is showing. So I can run the sqoop. But sqoop need more parameter because just I written sqoop is not enough, right? So I need to tell all information like source information and target information. So sqoop needs, and sqoop has not only import command, sqoop has the different utilities are there. Sqoop has one utility is list databases. I can know how many databases are there. Okay, so I will provide my database URL, right, and tell username password. It will be telling me how many databases are there in MySQL. Okay, if I say list hyphen table, it can tell how many tables are there in the your MySQL database, any particular database. Okay. So sqoop is not only import, sqoop has export command, sqoop has a list database, list table, and sqoop has one more feature is a sqoop job. You can customize, you can write your own custom job. You can say reusable job. So again, you are writing a same sqoop import command 10 times manually. Instead of that, you can create a one job for that import command and reuse it. That is called the sqoop job. Okay. Let's start first, very basic sqoop import command like to bring the data. So if I show you MySQL table, in this MySQL show databases, here and sqoop is a database. Okay, I will use sqoop show tables. Okay, just take an example of employee table. Okay, EMP table. So if I check the data, select star company. So I'm just going to import this data. I want to import this data to my Hadoop file system. Okay. Just I'm taking an example. If my data is there in the 4 columns are there, and these 4 columns data I want as it is, comma. So comma is a default delimiter character. Okay, comma is a default delimiter character when you import data as a file. But suppose sometimes you want the delimiter character is a different character, so you can use the different delimiter character. So first thing is we have installed the sqoop, everything we done, and we have set the version, and we have set the this, and we copy the library. So I have mentioned here the library connector jar, right? You can get this. And one more thing you also do because you need it, the copy common length 2.6 jar from hive lib to sqoop lib. Sqoop lib is already having this common length, but this is I think lower version something is there. So you have to keep it the same version of the hive. That is sqoop. Okay. So make it this all things. And this is the alter command, which I was talking about. If you get sudo MySQL, you do, and just alter table this one and set the your password. And once you set your password, after that you can log in with your password. Okay. So only 3 command you run. Don't follow all the steps here. Just install the MySQL service and start MySQL service, and then sudo MySQL alter command, exit, and then log in with your password. I kept it a small password, like password is a small password keyword. So you can keep it any, okay, but you remember. And then you create a database table. You create some database name, create a table inside the data. So I have given a create table command. So if you are not use the database, so you will get this error, right? So you know, right? And insert some testing data. Okay. Now this is my first sqoop import command. So when I'm using a sqoop import command, I'm using a connect parameter, username I'm giving, password. So this password is not hidden here. Okay, there is another way is there we can use option file. So minus minus option hyphen file, you can give the file name where you have the password. Okay, so that is another enhancement. Okay, but initially I'm giving a password hard coded here. This my password is hard coded, and table name I'm telling here my EMP table, and my database name is a sqoop because right now I have used command sqoop, and sqoop is having the employee table, and delete target dir. Suppose I have already directory is there. If my directory is already there, this directory is already present, import one. It will delete that directory and it will create again the same directory. If you don't use it, this one, so what it will do, if you don't use it this one, it will give you the error second time. First time will be fine if it is not there, but the second time it will give the error. But the delete target dir, every time you can create, it will not give you the error because you are using this option. And the second thing is, if you don't use this use SSL false, so you will get the handshake error. So you can, even I can show to you without this parameter so that I can show you the error. So I just remove this and show you without use SSL. If you do, at bottom, it will do import, but it will show you some error. So we have to run on the $shell. You can run anywhere. So this sqoop import command I run it. So always remember this cat dash parameter, because this cat dash parameter is like all the parameters with the starting with the cat dash. Okay, if any conjugative word is coming, then one single dash will be there. Okay, so when I say target dir, can you see here? After delete, the conjugative word will coming with a single dash. The second word is coming with a single dash. So this is naming convention. So you see here, my sqoop import is happened, but here I'm getting some SSL exception, right? Some server socket layer exception is coming. So when you add a question mark, use SSL false, this error will not show. Even your data is imported, So now I got 6 records. So what is my target location in this? If I see this is my target location, so I will check this folder, Hadoop fs minus ls. So I will get part M file. So sqoop is by default is a mapper job, right? Because we are generally doing all select statement. But sometimes you are doing some complex query and grouping aggregation you are doing. That time it will be generating the part R file. Okay. So now I want to see this file content. Checking. I had the 4 columns, right? So same data, everything is as it is coming same. Okay. And the sqoop is having one option, right? If you want to add your own field terminated by. So you can add this one, then it will. So now this time I'm using use SSL false and I'm using a target DIA of this same directory, but I'm using a delete target DIA. And this time I'm using a field terminated by. And one more parameter you are able to see here minus M1. Minus M1 means you are using the mapper, how many output file you want to generate. So minus M1, but you can increase the number of mappers. Like suppose you say, I want to generate 4 output file and parallelly it will be importing. So it will make it your execution faster. But why I'm not using here? If I use minus M more number, then you used to use one more clause split by column. Only split by column, right? When we are using minus M more than one, in that case, we have to use split by column also. So I'm not using the split by, that is the reason I cannot change here. So I will show you another example where I will be using split by column. So split by column is basically your ID column on which column you want to say your data should be distributed. Okay, suppose you have 100 records and you say you want to divide into 25, 25, 4 mappers. So you will give minus n. So when we run this query, so sqoop import, it's very, very simple. Just you need to understand parameters, each and every parameter, and it is very fast way. If you can do the same ingestion, you can do with Spark. Okay. But Spark, you need to write a code and then submit a job in the cluster. That's a process. Okay. But here is a just single import command that is quick way, right? You are importing the data, so you can using the sqoop import. So here is the delete target dir will be deleting your directory and it will create a same directory with the name you giving and the field terminated by you are giving dollar. So your data will be imported as a dollar separated. So you can see here, 6 record is written, right? The same thing. If you just see the same file, you will get the same file, but this time the file will be dollar. Did you understand like this type of commands you have to run and some more variations I'm telling you, you try it out and tomorrow I will show the, suppose you want to get a specific column and the where clause, everything you can give it because it's more customization. So here is you are getting all the record. There is no filter. Okay, suppose you want to filter, there is a where clause there. If you want to column filter, okay, you want to column filter, you can use the columns. Okay. And and it's not a compulsion. Anything you can keep it, anything you can remove it. But you will get the effect when you are using it. Right. If you don't use delete target dir, so you will get like you have to create every time new direct. If you are not using this terminated by, so default it will take common. Right. You need to understand what you need to keep it, what you don't need to keep it. Just accordingly, you change your scooping. And if you have more customization, right, you don't want to use separate these three things, table, column, and where. Instead of that, you can use minus minus query. So there is a minus minus query here, free from query. So query, you can directly write a single query. You can write a query. But there is a one condition, dollar condition you have to add in your query. So you will write like this, select query and select ID, name, age, and then you are giving dollar condition. So this dollar condition is must, even though your query condition is there or not. Okay. But where clause, this dollar condition will come. Even your my ID is not there. But I have to give the dollar condition. So this will be giving me all the record with ID, name, age. But if I want to filter also, then I can use some condition. But this dollar condition will definitely come. Okay, if you don't give this one, it will give you the error. Dollar condition is missing. Okay, so if I remove it, if I keep it like this query, and I run this import, just check here your database because this database should be changed. Otherwise, you will get in other database. Or if you don't have the database, you will get the error. So these are the queries command and some more variations are there, right? If you try this one, it will fail. I already mentioned here, dollar condition is mandatory. Try that one. Make it pivot. Okay, so dollar condition is there. And other thing is you want to list all the databases of through sqoop command. So just use list hyphen databases and give the this query. You will get all the list of databases in the list. Doing sqoop list databases. So I'm giving my MySQL URL, but I'm not giving any database name. So that I will get all the database. But when I want to get the table list, that time I have to give the database name. All the tables. And another one is like you want to import all tables. At a time, sqoop is doing one table import. But suppose you have a 10 tables and you want to import all the 10 tables. So there is a command sqoop import all tables. And you want
Sir,
don't want any specific
sir,
one.
in this particular, when you import the table from in MySQL to Scoop, if I have some condition like the null should be avoid or a zero should be avoid kind of things, should I use in where condition kind of things or what?
Where condition is there wherever the specific column null, but there is a is null is there. One is the hyphen null. Okay, I have to check the property name. There is a null not allowed, right? Allow in school import. Okay, so there is a property name is there is allow null. C is null string, hyphen null string or non-null string. Okay, so this is import command. See, it is there. It is there. Like you can ignore it. Right? You don't want null string you want or null non-string you want. What you want. Okay. So other way is where clause you can keep it, but where clause will check in particular one column. You cannot check in other all columns, right? All the null values you want to replace with the blank values. Okay, so that's the purpose of this. You don't want to import as it is null. Got my point? Okay, so that purpose we use this property. Okay, any null strings are there. So null values are displayed in the tables, right, or in the file. You don't want to display null values. Nulls are stored
Sir,
as a
in such a scenario, if I have 10 tables, it's just assuming one condition on that. Like if I have 10 table and requiring like out of 10 table, I required only like 3, 2, then 5, then 7. Mean that one by one skipping one, 2, 5, and 7 kind of table required, and rest 7 I don't require. Out of the 10 table, only 3 required.
so
Such.
whatever you should know the name of the table. You can do exclude here. Okay, suppose you say first table name is a table 1, second table is the 10th table is a table 10, 100 table is a table 100. So first 10 and 100 you don't want, just write it here exclude table. Table 1, comma table 10, comma table 100. It will not come. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So exclude table property is there. But there is no indexing meaning, right? Like you say 1, 10, 100, because table position is not there, right? Table means table names, right? So table 1 means table 1, some name is there. So just exclude, you will make it. So import all table, what it does. But here you remember, you don't need to give the target DIR. The target DIR you can't give. It will come always in the home base directory. If you see, you know already the base directory. The base directory is without slash. Hadoop fs minus ls. So always your sqoop import all table is imported here with the table folder, with the name of the table folder. Okay, I will show tomorrow how it is importing. Okay, because you can't give any target DIR in this. It will not work. Okay, so generally how it works in the base folder in this Hadoop fs minus ls. Here your table folders will create for each table. If table folder is already there, it will give you the directory already existed for that particular table folder. Actually, it is running a multiple time this sqoop import for each table in a loop internally. You don't need to run any loop when you run sqoop import all table.
Sir, I have one doubt again. If I if I import the table from Scoop, then in HDFS or Hadoop distributed file system, what kind of file it will be stored? Like a file structure store, TXT file, or any other file, or a table like same as store in MySQL, similar kind of store in HDFS. If I after the import from Scoop through Scoop.
It will be coming file. Okay, right now we are not storing in the hive. Hive when we are on to store, we have to use sqoop hive import command. Okay, that I will tell also. Directly you can import the data into hive, but underlying storage for that also SDFS. So that's a two-step you are doing in a one step. Generally, what you do, you bring the data in SDFS, then import, then manually you create a hive table and load the data. That's a two-step process. So sqoop hive import command will directly load into a hive table and underlying storage is SDFS. Okay, that I will tell sqoop hive import. Okay, next session I will complete the sqoop. Okay, it's nothing, right? If you want to go through your other things, you can do like sqoop session 2, 3 is there. You can see everything here. The sqoop session 2 is completely import export is there with the hive. You can see. You can run it, and if you get any difficulty, you can ask me. Okay. And one more session 3 is for the sqoop job. Sqoop job, that is the third one. Like incremental job. Incremental is very important concept. Like every time you will not load the whole data again. So suppose today is 100 and tomorrow is a 20 record. So only 120, like 100 to 20 you want, not the entire 120 level. Okay. Okay, I will cover it on next alternate day. Just do practice. Okay. And you can watch videos, sqoop session videos are there. If you get any difficulty to understand this all, so in my YouTube channel, 3 sqoop sessions are there. So any playlist you go, there you can see, because I'm saying if you get any difficulty to understand any sqoop import command, so complete session 1, session 2, the entire 3 sessions you can get it any playlist you can see. Okay, if you go any playlist, you can get it. Okay, you can go with this playlist, you can go. Whatever my classroom playlist is there, same playlist you can check here. Okay, the 3 sessions playlist is there. School session 1, session 2, session 3. So this one has all the sessions. So here is a school, 3 sessions are there. Okay. I explained it. Okay, if you want to do it, you do it, right? I'm telling you, you can. This is a matter of command. See, sqoop job incremental, sqoop hive import, sqoop hive import, all import all. And all the syntax, everything is in this classroom. I already shared. I already given this classroom link, so you can follow this. I'm copying to you again. Okay. Or even in the description is there. Okay, follow this. Okay. Thanks everyone. I'll connect on the.
Thank you.